There's the camera. I mounted it right here. I took this plastic piece off right here. This plastic piece comes off. There's some screws underneath the trunk. Here, I'll open it up and show you. Take this cover off. There's little plastic tabs. You take this off. Then there's 4 nuts, and there's two nuts by the lock part. So where this lock is right here, where this lock is, there's 2 nuts behind there. You take that off, and then this plastic piece will come off. You run, the back of this has got a plastic thing that holds this back in here. It's kind of blocked from this from getting rain on it anyway, so it doesn't really get too wet right there. But there's just like a plastic piece that sticks through there. You pop this off, and then I took that little plastic piece and I bent the metal a little bit to get the wire for the camera around through there, and then you connect it to the diagram isn't very good on this radio. It tells you to connect something to the license plate lights, but you don't. You connect there's 2, a black and a red wire. You connect the black to the negative. I just connected it to a bolt in there. And then the red wire on the RCA cable that you run from the stereo to back here, that's got a separate little orange wire hanging off of it. You take that wire, plug the RCA into the camera, take that wire and the red wire that comes from the power from the camera, and you connect them both to this backup light. There's wire for the backup light. You connect it to the positive on the backup light. So that when you put it in reverse, it sends power to the camera. It sends power to the camera, and at the same time, it also sends a signal to the radio to say, hey, it's in reverse. That's how it works. The DVR is right here, and I ran the wire through here, and then I pulled this off, and you pull this trim off, and you run the wire down behind there, around and into here, like this stuff here pulls off. It's pretty easy. There's all kind of diagrams on how to do this. This just pulls off, and then there's 2 screws there, and you pull this off and unscrew this, and you lift this plastic stuff up. It's pretty easy to get in here to this. The hardest part I had was getting the wire from here, the RCA cable, under the carpet and under the back seat into the back. The reason why is because I couldn't get the back seat out for some reason. But anyway, here's the radio, and I'll start the car up because it's kind of hot. I'm gonna run the AC for a minute. So when you start it up, it comes on this. If you put it in reverse right away, it jumps right into the backup camera. See how fast it goes? It doesn't even have to be fully loaded up to go into the backup camera. So you can change the logo to the Toyota logo in there, which is really cool. This is an awesome stereo. I mean, I was surprised at how good this looks. I mean, look how good it looks. It looks like it was made for this car. I mean, it looks like it's a factory radio. Even the colors, you can get the color around the thing to be the exact color of like bluish color that these things here have, that the rest of the lights in the car have. It's really, really nice. The controls on the steering wheel work. So if you turn the volume up on the steering wheel, you have to go in and program them. For some reason, they didn't do anything. And then I went in and programmed them, and it's pretty simple. Okay, if you go to the radio, I took the memory card out, but it has the DVR. You can go to DVR, and it shows you the camera out the front. There's the camera. That's this camera up here. See, there's my finger on the camera. Stabilization. So right there is the GPS. I ran the GPS right out through the little vent there. You just pull this up. This pulls right up, and it's a plastic piece that goes in here. It just pulls apart, and then you just take the end of that GPS wire and fish it down there and pull it between these vents and drop it down and connect it to the back of the stereo. It really only took a couple minutes. But I'm on my home Wi-Fi is like real close. It's right on the other side of the wall in there. So I have a Wi-Fi signal right here, a Nexus 6P. To run, but you can use like Sygic maps if you don't have a wireless connection all the time. So you can use the GPS on Sygic maps, and you can zoom in. You can set a destination on it. You can say, okay, I want it, and this is free. It's actually a free service. There's a pay part that if you wanted to do a pay service, you can, but you can search for like gas stations. It doesn't give you the prices, so it's not quite as good as say Google Maps, but it works well. It looks nice, but Google Maps is actually coming out with an update that will do a lot more. Like it does the updated turns. It shows little buildings. It shows you what the stuff is as you're passing it and things that are coming up. It's easier to search on Google Maps, from what I understand. The new one is coming out, so I would rather use Google Maps, but this is an offline map. You can use this whether you're online or offline. And you know, there's this one, and then there's TomTom has a map service that you can use. There's a pay part to it somewhere. There's like Sygic store. There's like a pay thing. You can pay to have a. See, it's got 30 foot like World, North America, and dash cam, lifetime license. Live services, North America, heads up display, dash cam, lifetime license, celebrity voices. You can add voices to your thing. So North America lifetime license is 20 pounds, or probably, I don't know, what's that, 25 bucks? It's not really expensive. I don't know if this will run forever like it is, or if you have to pay for the app, pay for the stuff or whatever. The home stuff has, like, I even put like my Google Now on here, so you can actually have different stuff that you search for on Google Now. I like the background too. It's pretty nice. It works real fast. See, I put TomTom Go maps on there. Facebook is on there. You can be on Facebook if you have it tethered for your Wi-Fi. You can be on Facebook on here and posting stuff. There's my friend. I mean, and it looks fantastic. Look how good it looks. It looks great. This is a fantastic screen, but you can make a post, you can like, comment, share, you can make a new post, you can do Messenger, you can do all kinds of stuff on here. Just click home. The other cool thing is the DVDs on here, which it doesn't list that well on here, because you can pop music and videos in here. There's a little knockout plug inside there. I popped it out, and that allowed me to run this wire into here, and then this is the little drive that they send you. It's a little 8 gig joying 8 gig drive. So I added that in here. You put movies or videos or music or whatever you want. It's 8 gigs. You could put like a 64 gig or 128 gig drive on here and fill it up with tons of stuff. But another cool thing is, if you're like me, I burn DVDs for a living, and I do a lot of DVDs and stuff. So what I did was I put a DVD full of MP3s. So it's like 4 gigabytes of MP3s, which is almost like most of my collection. I think is like 6 or 8 gigs. So that's like most of my music collection is on one disc in here. If I click DVD, it actually loads the DVD and tells if it's a movie or an audio disc or what is on the DVD. So if it's a movie, it'll play the movie, and it'll play it while you're driving. Or if it's an audio disc like it is here, you can go to the little thing and it'll audio, and here's my artists. All right, Jack Johnson, Jack White, just different stuff. Let's go to this first one. I think the first one actually shows the track names. It's how the tracks are actually named. It doesn't go and get the names. Mine was it was a CD I ripped, like this Love. So you can see what the name of it is. Also, if you go back and you click the home button, it comes up over here. I want to turn this down because I don't want to play the music. You can drag down. You can probably just go back to DVD and stop it. But you can put music on anything, and you can also put like just the radio on. You can go to the radio works great, and it's really nice. I love the radio controls and everything. DVD, radio, media, and then you have track information. Then there's another USB 2.0 that comes here, and I was thinking, okay, well, what is that? Nobody has one of those little USB 2.0 things. Nobody has one of those, but it comes with this. So technically, you can even plug this in and plug your stuff in the front if you don't have a place to run the cable. If you don't have a place to run the cable, you can plug this in, and it does some pretty cool stuff. Like my phone it'll read my. Like you can plug this in right here, or whatever, and you just leave it plugged in the front. If you don't want it plugged in the front, you could disconnect it and put it in your little compartment and just leave it for later. But so it's got a USB here, SD card and a GPS here, a USB down here in this box, so that's 2 USBs, and a third one for this camera here. If you didn't want to use the DVR camera, underneath the dash over here is where my cable runs. I could disconnect it and stick something like right in this little pocket, and stick something in here like an MP3 player or something, and just play audio through it. There's just multiple ways, or through the disc. You can have hundreds of albums on the, or hundreds of songs on one DVD. And this shows your calculator, calendar. What I like about this is like the calendar, if I go here and say, this is my calendar, so it's synced to my Google account, right? So if I go to, today is the 20th, so if today is the 20th, the 25th I have a wedding, right? Ashland Gardens, Atlanta. If I click here, I can actually go right here and I can pick what I want it to go, like Sigic, and just once. And now it's going to send that action, it's going to send the information to the navigation to navigate from here to there. Whether I'm using Google Maps or whatever, I want to use Google Maps because it just seems easier. But that's it. DVR. Now that's this camera here out the front. So when you click it, it's showing the out through the front of the car, and it's doing the thing, and if you hit that button it starts recording. Now I haven't seen where you can automatically have it start and stop like when you start driving or something like that, so you have to manually go in and start it every time. But then you got music, navigation. You can click navigation and it automatically goes to Google Maps, but in the settings you can have the navigation be whatever it is you want to use for navigation. So, and it has like explore. I like the Google Maps because it says explore food and drinks in this area. It gives you a lot more information, and it updates. So, and then there's an OEM thing. I don't know what that is. Then there's torque. That's for if you have the little Bluetooth thing in your car. Voice search. You can click it and do voice search, like Google Now, to search for things on the web, or navigate to an address, or navigate to McDonald's, or whatever it is you want, like any tablet. Yeah, the cool thing is when your phone is connected Bluetooth and somebody sends you a text message, it comes out and says you've received a text message from, and tells who the person is that sent it, and then it asks you if you want it to read it to you. You click you say yes, and it will read the text message out to you. Then it asks you if you would like to reply, and you can actually talk and reply to it, and then it'll read that back to make sure that it's got it right. And then you can click go ahead, and you can say go ahead and send, and it will send it for you. So you don't have to touch just like any of the 2016, 15 cars that started coming out with this type of stuff. It's the same thing. It's basically doing the same thing that a modern car has. This is the biggest infotainment system. It makes a car from 2011, like this car, into a brand new car practically. I mean, it doesn't have the miles, but it feels, when you're driving it and everything, it matches up so perfect. It feels like you're driving a new car because it does all the things that a new car does, and then some. Video. Click video. And now it's going to look for video on these things. So you click this and go to USB 1, and there it is. USB storage, now it's showing you the one thing that's on there. If you had more than one, it would list them. You could be watching a movie while you're driving down the road. Well, you shouldn't be watching it, but your passengers can be watching the movie. The only thing is, if you stop the car and restart it, it starts at the beginning. So if you're on a long trip and you have a movie that your passenger wants to watch, they can watch it and listen to it, and you can listen to the movie. I wouldn't be sitting here watching the movie because you can get in a wreck watching the movie. The screen looks phenomenal, actually. I'm very happy with the quality of the screen. Lollipop. He's updating it to Lollipop supposedly this week or whatever. You could probably contact him and get it. And I had to contact him about the back camera, and he contacted me right back and told me that how to hook it up, and sent me a little video about hooking up the back camera, because the directions weren't clear enough on connecting the back camera. So there's a video, and you can have, I could put 15 or 20 videos on this one little thing here. I can put TV shows and stuff. I like sometimes to put on like what I like to do is like to listen to podcasts and stuff on like they have those podcasts that are like Google Hangouts on YouTube. I would sit and listen to those. I don't have to necessarily watch it because it's just a guy's face sitting there talking, but I'll listen to it. So that'll be really cool on trips. I'm going to sign into my Google account so I can get my Google tabs on here. But anyway, that's basically how it works. So I'm highly recommend this. Car joying car stereo, and I showed you the unboxing. This thing is awesome. That's my review.